So I was watching a video. There's a video that channel that I really, really like. And I think this young lady is very funny. I think she's hilarious. And she was commenting on a video where a man is talking about how, just women and aging and, men have the luxury of they can get women whenever, and that women don't have that luxury of getting men whenever. Like, men don't age out of attractiveness, whereas women do, because men, their resources and what they're chosen for are different. Okay. And she goes in and she kind of makes this video. And there was a lot of truth to the video. Okay. Because I'm a woman. And I feel like that is very damaging. Because the reality is, no matter who you are, male or female, there is a time where we age. And there is a time where you will be less attractive to the opposite sex because you have age. That's not just a woman thing. That is a man thing too. Okay? What it says or research shows is that when men turn 50, the attractiveness declines from women. So significantly. But really 40s, it starts to kind of decline, and then 50s, it drops. Because women are also looking for certain characteristics in men. When men are in their 40s and 50s, or when they're older, women are generally looking for stability, possibly like, this man can take care of me, provider, things of that nature. They're not necessarily as attracted to men that are, I think it's like the age over the age of 45. And that's when things start to decline. Now, again, I think that if people take care of themselves, no matter whether you're a female or a male, I don't think that there's an issue. I really do think it's about what you look like, how you carry yourself. I think all of that plays a role. Because I've seen some fly 50-year-old men, 50-plus-year-old men, but they are not pulling women like they was pulling women before. That's for sure. And I think it's very damaging, because I think that there's a lot of pressure on women to just settle down, get with a guy. But, men is like, oh, well, you got all the time in the world to get the woman you desire. And the reality is, on some level, you don't. Because you're going to be she's going to be the most attracted to you at a certain age. Just like the reverse is true, right? The reverse is true, and we have to be honest with ourselves. I know that may not be what people want to hear, but I've had men that are over the age of 50, over the age of 45, that have tried to approach me and things like that, and they're really attractive and things like that, but it's a consideration. Like, I don't know if that's really going to work for me, where what goals I may have relationally or family-wise, like, we might not be on the same page. So them being older actually discounts them. Research shows that women like men typically about 3 years older. That's like the sweet spot, 3 to 5 years older. When it gets over 10, women can be a little hesitant. That's when they start looking at more of the resources of the man. So if you are concerned about a woman that is using you or utilizing you for resources, you probably don't want to be trying to wait until you're in your 50s and you built this empire for yourself, and now you're trying to get the woman, because she's probably choosing you at that point for your resources. Just being real. Okay? Again, there are always exceptions to rules, right? Not everybody falls in the same boat, but I don't like a lot of pressure on women settle down, you're aging out, and men don't have that same pressure. No, y'all do. Men do become unattractive to women at a certain point too, as they age, especially to younger women, the women that they desire, right? So we have to be mindful of that, because we're all on the time clock. We might not be on the same time clock, but we are on time clocks. Because attractiveness for women is different, right? And so I think that I wanted to talk about that because I feel like that rhetoric is really making men feel like, let me just build this. That's red pill mentality. Let me build this fortune. Let me get all this money so I can get the woman that I want. But there's a problem with that logic. If you want a woman to want you for something other than money, and you're afraid of them being gold diggers and such, why build a fortune for, like, why do that? Because if the only difference between you approaching the same woman is money, then you would have to assume, one would deduce that she's there for money, right? I feel like we have to think about this a little bit more. And I think that there's a lot of conflicting messages that are making men feel like, I need to get all this money and I need to be this multi-millionaire to get the woman that I desire. But I feel like that's not true. I don't think that you need to do that. Because the reality is, if you get the woman because you're a millionaire, you now have a whole other set of problems. Now you have to consider whether or not she's there for you or whether she's there for the money. Because the only difference between you before and you now is money. So I think that if you are looking for more of a stability of partnership and looking for the right one who's there for the right reasons, wouldn't you want a woman now that's like choosing you now where you are now versus building all this wealth and then trying to find women? Because now you're just kind of creating your own self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, I don't want women that want me for money, but I'm only going to go after women after I attain money. Well, then you're kind of putting yourself in a predicament. I mean, I feel like I say this to my brother as well. Like, you have to be careful about how you present yourself. Because you present yourself a certain way to women, you're leading with money, or you're posting about money, or you're posting opulence and things of that nature. So to me personally, I feel as though when I'm hearing men have these conversations and basically say, well, women, we have all the time in the world, women don't. Well, fertility window, yes, that's undeniable. But men become unattractive at a certain age too. It's a fact. There's a certain point where it'll be harder to get the same kind of woman that you desire, because she's going to be looking for somebody who's younger, because she's also considering fertility. She's also considering, yes, you might be able to impregnate her, but if you 50 or you in your late 40s, you may not be wanting to have no child. Right? So she might be saying, he might not be, that I'm probably going to go for under 45 who may be still willing to have a child because I'm in childbearing years. Or I want a man closer to my age, because as I said, on average, most women are looking for men closer to their age. Usually if they're looking for someone older, it's within 3 years. Okay, so that's a myth. And I'm giving you guys statistics. The myth of the red pill space